Whoa, look at that. It is live. Vannessa Still Can't Cook. It's now your cooking day here on QVC. It's a big day. We're talking food. We're talking culinary experiences. Everything we're shopping for today is on free shipping and handling. And I'm back for a second helping of help in the kitchen. So if you've seen Vannessa Can't Cook on QVC Plus before, it's never been live. We have celebrity chefs, guests you know and love, and lots of tips and tricks that we're gonna learn along the way. So if we haven't met before, I'm Vanessa Herring. We're getting things started with our today's special value from Creuset. I'm going to maybe make Valentine's Day dinner for two, but I can't do it alone. I need a lot of help. So Nate Collier is here from our Creuset team, recipe developer. He's gonna give me some help and help me learn how to cook in cast iron, which, Nate, I've never done before.
Okay.
So is it the same as cooking on other vessels, or?
I mean, the techniques are the same, but it's gonna help you out so much more. I know you said you don't like to cook. You don't wanna have to learn a whole bunch of stuff. The thing I love about cast iron, especially enamel cast iron, is the pot will do the work for you.
Oh.
If you kind of know what you're doing ahead of time, let the pot do the work for you, and you don't have to think about it as much. So a couple things about cast iron that I love. Number one, the heat retention. And what that means is this cast iron is gonna hold on to heat more efficiently.
Okay.
You don't have to cook on high heat, you can cook on medium. You don't have to constantly adjust the temperature, so you don't have to feel like you're watching so much. Once it heats up, let it heat up a little bit on medium for 3 or 4 minutes, and then you're gonna get these beautifully brown pieces of meat or vegetable or whatever you're searing. Things like this, if you ever got a soup or a stew that was thin and gray, that means you didn't get that beautiful brown flavor cooked onto the meat in the bottom of the pan. All I did was turn this on medium, put a little bit of oil and the meat in there, and the pan does the work for you.
Now, this is called like a soup pan, but
It is.
can I make things other than soup?
You absolutely can make other things other than soup in here. We're gonna do a technique here, basically braising this beef into a ragu. Same as a beef stew or a beef stroganoff you could do this with, a pot roast you could do this with. It's open top casseroles in the oven. It is breakfast casseroles. It'll keep cold things cold for the summertime if you wanna serve in this vessel. So a lot of different things. The shape of it makes it amazing for stirring as well without the hard edges. Risottos, stir fries. The shape of the vessel is also great for versatility as well. And then the last thing, this glass lid, not only can you see what you're doing, but it's a little bit lighter than our traditional cast iron lid. So if you're intimidated by some of our larger Dutch ovens because they're heavier and harder to manage, this is also a great vessel for you in the kitchen because number one, you can see, am I burning my food yet? You can look already in there and see
I need to see that.
And also easy to get in and out of the oven, which we'll show you in a second. So we're making a beef ragu, which is a recipe that's included with this TSV item in a recipe booklet. We started just by browning off this beautiful brown chuck meat. So not very expensive cuts of meat either is another great tip. You need to develop the brown flavor. That's just patience.
Okay.
Let the pan do the work for you and develop that brown flavor. And once you get all of that in the bottom, we're gonna come with some pancetta, which is just Italian bacon. It's not as smoky as American bacon. Some onions.
I can already smell the flavors
of garlic.
developing.
And again, on medium heat, you don't have to worry about these onions and garlic burning, getting acrid, anything like that. Again, you don't have to come back to adjust the heat so often with this, so not as many things to worry about in the kitchen. And you can see already with just the moisture from the vegetables, a lot of that brown fond is coming off the bottom. And you can also see how easy this shape is for me to stir in. Nothing's getting caught in the corners and burning. Nothing's flying out of the pan because you've got a beautiful, easy shape in here. So it actually helps you stir your food. Why don't you give it a few stirs and see what you can do.
We have some shout outs for you, Nate.
Oh,
Chloe's
how about
mom
that?
and Shannon, they both say hi,
Hi.
Nate. So if you go to qvc.com and type in live stream, you can actually chat with us. So if you have any questions, you want to give some encouragement, please feel free to do
Thanks,
so.
everybody.
Yeah.
How fun is that while you're cooking to get a shout out?
I know. I'm like, everyone is loving
And
your
look,
skills
you're
in the
doing
kitchen.
exactly what you need to do with this because you're developing flavor. We're not burning. You don't want the onions and garlic to color too much. You just want them to sweat down and turn nice and sweet.
And I noticed like it's not sticking to the bottom. Like, I mean, because I've had some troubles in the kitchen, I've had like onions like stick very quickly. I think probably because it was too hot. Everything's moving around so smoothly.
It's the glass-like enameled interior is almost non-stick. It's such easy release, and also the heat retention of the cast iron. Once it's up to temperature, nothing's gonna stick to it. Again, you don't wanna go super high heat with this. That's where you start to burn. But if you get the pan preheated, nothing's gonna stick with this. And you can already see beautifully developed. I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna grab some tomato product to put in here. So another quick trick, if you're not that confident in the kitchen, take some supermarket shortcuts, right? If you need cooked chicken, grab the rotisserie chicken ahead of time to put into your soup at home. You don't have to worry about cooking it. This recipe normally would deglaze with wine and then add beef stock and then add tomato products separately.
Oh, wow.
But we're gonna take a little bit of a trick. We're gonna just go with jarred tomato sauce, which you can get this tomato sauce today, I think, on the show that's going
Mama
on right
Mancini's.
now. Beautiful.
Mama Mancini's. Oh, by the way, Elaine is loving our cooking lesson
Hi,
on
Elaine.
QVC.com. Hi, Elaine.
And so this now comes in, works just like the wine to deglaze. You can see nothing is sticking to the bottom of this, and you don't have to worry about staining. Everyone, you think about tomato sauce in your pots, in your Tupperware, it turns red. Not with this enamel coating. Nothing is going to discolor it. Nothing is going to stain it. If you do get stains on the bottom because you happen to walk away from your pan, I've done it. I've burned things before.
You have? Okay,
of
so I'm not
course.
alone.
I have 2 little girls at home cooking rice. I walk away, forget about it. You come back and it's burnt to the bottom.
Yes.
You can soak enameled cast iron. You don't have to worry about babying it. You can scrub it as long as you're not using a metal scouring pad. It will come right off with just some warm soap and water and a sponge. So this will cook a little bit. We're going to take the beef and add it right back into the pan. So just really all we're doing is onions, garlic. Cutting the onions and the garlic is probably the most difficult thing that we're going to do with this recipe
Because everything else has been really easy.
Very easy. You develop flavor with the heat retention, so you want to watch so it gets nice and brown, pull your meat out, sweat your onions, and then get your liquid and tomato product in there. Whether you're doing the full recipe with the wine and stock and tomatoes or just this shortcut, you get the beef back in there, and the last thing that you want with the ragu, once we've developed this flavor, is that beautiful shred apart texture. And that is coming from the lid. So even though it's a glass lid and it's lighter, we've got this rim right here that will lock your moisture in. Put that on top. This can go on the stove. If your oven is full of other stuff, this will braise on the stove. I love to do low and slow in the oven because the cast iron helps regulate that temperature. It's gonna come out and shred apart so nicely. Ooh. And I'm going to teach you, actually, one thing I did forget, and this is in the recipe too. If you're using Parmesan at home, always save these rinds. It's full of flavor.
That's like the bottom part.
The bottom part of it. You can actually buy them now at a lot of stores, but if you're grating Parmesan cheese at home, hold on to them in a beef stew, in a chili, in a ragu like this. When your herbs and your bay leaves go in, dump that right into the pan, and it's going to give you a beautiful umami flavor. You fish it out just like you would the herb sprig or the bay leaf at the end. And it's this beautiful flavor that is just enough that people can taste something, but it's not so much that they will know your secret. So again, there's a tip for you in your back pocket that not everybody knows to use that. Cook it off low and slow in the oven. I'm going to walk this over, and we're going to see exactly what that looks like.
All right, I'm gonna help you take it over to the kitchen or to the oven. Anne and Chloe's mom both bought our today's special value from Le Creuset, and it's shipping for free on the bottom of it. There we go.
Perfect.
It's shipping to you for free, just like everything. So like the Mama Mancini sauce that we use as a shortcut, this is the perfect day to pick it up if you want to give this recipe a try, because everything right now is shipping for free. And Vannessa Can't Cook usually isn't live. So now that we're live, we can share all the great deals and all the great things we have happening with you. Now, Nate, here's something that I've been a little guilty of.
Okay,
and my
let's hear
husband
it.
always is like I don't taste anything. So I'm just like, ta-da! I tried to make something, and he's like, "Did you eat this before you brought this to me?"
Right.
I'm like, "No, I didn't actually."
So number one tip I can give any new cook or any pro cook or any cook at all, always taste your food before you bring it to the table. In fact, taste it multiple times, season multiple times. Take every advantage. Season your noodles, season your meat, season when you're cooking. But before it goes out, taste it, and taste it at the temperature that you're going to serve it at, because when things cool off or heat up, they'll change a little bit in there too. So another thing, if you're making a salad dressing, taste it with the greens that they're going to go on, and you'll know what it tastes like when it comes to the table.
Tip.
So
we're making this beef ragu.
Beautiful beef ragu. You can see,
Look at that.
I'll grab this ladle here. That chuck just shreds down so beautifully into this tender sauce that all we did was put jarred tomato sauce, brown beef, sweat onions, and pancetta in there, and then the pan did all the work for you. So low and slow in the oven. The other thing, you don't have to run for a timer. This can sit It can cook in the oven low and slow. It can stay warm on the stove until your guests are ready, so you're not running back trying to time something and burn it on the stove when you walk away.
You know what? Okay, I'm with Stacy, who said that's it. I'm ordering the Today's Special Value. Like, Stacy girl, I'm with you because Vannessa can't cook, but Le Creuset can.
That's right.
Le Creuset is basically doing all of it for you.
Let this do the work for you, and cleanup is a breeze on this too, which we can talk about later. So once you've worked in the kitchen so hard, first of all, make whoever you cooked for do the dishes.
Exactly.
It will be easier for them to clean it out. So this is a little bit hot, but I want you to just taste that and say, to your palate, do you think it would need more salt, less salt, more pepper, more chili flake? Anything like that that you can taste. Sometimes the tomatoes are a little bit different. You want to add a little bit of vinegar or a little bit of sugar to balance it out. You want to taste it before it goes to the table. Is it good?
It needs nothing else.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It needs nothing else. I mean, this is absolutely delicious. I don't know. I might have to get the Today's Special Value as well. The last time we had one, it sold out. So you don't want to wait on it. Nate, we do have a question. So whenever you're starting to braise and brown the beef, do you always have to start with a liquid? Like, do you always need a little bit of oil, or can you just dump it in there?
I would always recommend using a little bit of oil with these pans. Now, it depends on what cut of meat you're using. If you're cooking chili and your ground beef is a high fat content, 80-20, you might not need to start with oil in there, but it's always a good idea to have a little bit of oil in there. Definitely what you always want to do is preheat your pan first. So over medium heat, you don't need to go screaming hot on high. That's where you're going to burn, and it's really difficult to get these pans cool off because they hold on to heat so well. So medium heat, 4 to 5 minutes. And then it's going to be good to go. That will provide better release for you. And when you're browning, another tip too, if those big cuts of chuck that we had, if you're trying to turn one when you first get in the pan and it seems like it's sticking, don't fight with it. Don't fight with the pan, because when you fight with it, it tears and then that sticks more. It will release when it's ready to release. So if it's properly preheated and you put your meat in there to cook, don't overcrowd the pan because that can steam. Just leave it alone. And the pan, again, will tell you when it's ready to flip. Flip it over, you'll get that beautiful golden brown crust on whatever you're cooking.
So patience.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
relax. And sometimes I have to tell myself that. I'm like, listen, relax. You have to calm down. We do have some questions about the handles on the pan and the lid if they get hot. I mean, this is cast iron, so it does get a little warm when you're cooking. But what about the lid?
It will get hot. If you are cooking on the stove with this, definitely still check a little bit. It shouldn't get too hot because the glass isn't quite as conductive as the cast iron is. But if you're going in the oven like we did and braising, this can go up to 500 degrees if you're baking bread or doing like a casserole where you brown the top. This was a little bit lower, but it will get hot, but you can still see through the glass lid and it will still trap steam in there to give you this beautiful texture here. If the lid doesn't seal properly, you're not gonna get that shred apart, like just deliciously unctuous texture from it.
It's gorgeous.
And again, lighter weight than the cast iron ovens cast iron lids as well. So you've got a little bit more maneuverability. I love it for serving too. So if you're doing chilies or things like that for game day and you want people to come look at what they're getting out, they don't have to open up the lid to see what's in there. They can see right in there to know exactly what's bubbling on the back of the stove.
And it looks beautiful on your table as well. Now, we do have a question, and this is something that I always wonder as well. When I'm preheating, I don't know, maybe I'm alone in this, but maybe other people think this too. I never knew that you could like warm up a pan with nothing in it. Can I do that, or should I add the oil first before I preheat?
So what I like to do is add the oil when I'm ready to cook, because for the main reason, if I add the oil and I preheat it and I forget and I walk away, you can scorch the oil, you can burn the oil. So typically what I'll do is add the oil before I go in to cook, or something else that you can do is oil your food first instead of oiling the pan. So if you're seasoning that meat and it's dry, you want to put the oil and salt and pepper on the meat first before you put it in the pan. Totally fine as well. I don't do it first in the pan, if only because I don't want to walk away and forget about the oil.
So I can warm up the pan with nothing in it?
Exactly.
I never knew that.
Not on super high. Again, you want to do it on medium heat, and that's more efficient with cooking because you're not throwing heat into your kitchen. You don't have your flames licking up the side of the pot. The heat will stay in the vessel instead of going into your house and everywhere else. Let the pot do the work for you.
You're like, basically let it do
alone.
its thing.
Absolutely.
This is Diana's
I don't want to give up
third
too many secrets, but really it will just do it for you.
Give us all your secrets. We need them. I mean, Diana, I can see why you love Le Creuset because, like Nate says, it does the work for you. I mean, the fact that it will release things when it's ready, you don't have to to pull it apart, and everything is cooked beautifully. And by the way, because I don't cook very often, I'm usually the dishwasher. There's not a whole lot sticking on here.
You can see, and one thing I love about this ladle too we're using, which is a Le Creuset item, it's flexible tip here, so it scrapes right in the side. But see, just this ladle on the back is already swiping everything clean, and that's the flavor that you want to eat. You don't want to wash that down your drain anyway, so scoop it out with the ladle or a spatula, you'll be left with almost nothing. A quick rinse, soap, and a mild scrub with a sponge, it will be clean and good as new. It does go in the dishwasher if you're somebody that needs to put it in the dishwasher, but again, these are quite big. My dishwasher is full of little kid water bottles and lunch boxes and all that stuff. So just wipe it out, clean it out, put it right back on the stove because you'll use it on a daily basis.
Here's something I've always heard about cast iron, and I don't know if it's a myth, I don't know if it's true, and I don't know if you need to do it with Le Creuset, so I'm just gonna ask because people wanna know. Do you have to season like cast iron?
With this. So raw cast iron will come, it's reactive to oxygen, to water, to other things. So you need to seal it in a layer of fat and continue to keep that up so it doesn't rust or oxidize. This vessel, even the rims you see here, are fully encapsulated in enamel. So no seasoning required, no maintenance required after you clean it and wash it and dry it. These have a lifetime warranty on them because the enamel works so well. You don't have to worry about damaging it for any type of cooking use, washing use, cleaning use. Fully sealed, nothing to do to it when you get it out of the box.
Okay, well, I'm in on that because I didn't know that you had like maintenance and upkeep. It seems like very high maintenance for other cast iron. This, you're not doing any of that. And by the way, if you're loving the recipe and you picked up our Today's Special Value, this recipe is included with the Today's Special Value, right?
It is included. And again, this pot will make you feel confident just bringing it to the table because the colors are so beautiful. You're serving right out of this to keep it warm on the table. You're going to be smiling when you set it down. Your guests are going to be smiling when you set it down. And look, I do it too at home. Sometimes you get the freezer meals, the skillet meals, and you're just cutting a bag open. But the heat retention of the cast iron and the shape of this vessel will allow you to stir fry those skillet meals even easier than you can in a frying pan or a nonstick pan, and they'll look that much cooler when you bring them to the table.
This is making me want to cook.
I love it.
So I'm going to take another bite of this because it's so delicious. But as I do, what other recipes can we look forward to getting with our Today's Special Value, which, by the way, ships for free like everything else today?
So there's soups and stews in there. So this ragu is one of them. There's a Cajun pumpkin soup in there that's delicious. This shape has a gentle, natural convection to it. So when you're cooking vegetables in a soup, they slightly rotate in there. They don't sit on the bottom and turn to mush or scorch or burn. There's a sausage, egg, and Gruyere cheese breakfast casserole that is amazing, browning the top over it. It's so good. There's a berry crisp recipe. I'm trying to remember the other, shrimp risotto recipe. We're also making bread on the TSV demo day. We're doing chili. We're doing big pork shoulders. You can do everything that you want for like the rib sticking cold weather right now, but into the spring when you're just doing vegetables, sauteed green beans, vegetable stir-fry noodles, the shape is amazing for that, so you'll use it year-round.
Well, I'm learning a lot.
Okay, great.
I'm very excited about this Today's Special Value, and thank you for coming by today, because I feel like if we went out for dinner for Valentine's Day, this is something that I'd order, and now I can make it at home and surprise my husband.
You can make it at home. I'm here to give you all the tips and tricks, so if you ever need to put me on speed dial, I will absolutely be there to do it, and we'll let the pan do the work for you with just a little bit of patience, and he'll be extremely happy with the cleanup as well. At the end of it.
Well, we're going to see a lot more of Nate today. You're going to be on In the Kitchen with David a little bit later on, and also cooking with Rick Domeyer later on today as well at 4 p.m. So we'll see you in Le Creuset. Well, I mean, if it lasts, because last time it sold out. This one's already popular. Nate, thanks for coming by.
This was so much fun. I can't wait to hear how your cooking goes on Valentine's Day.
I'll let you know. Okay. And hopefully it doesn't go sideways. Hopefully it goes well. Okay, so that's it for our first segment. But we'll be back again with another guest helping me cook at noon. So stay tuned for that. It's Game Day Dip with Tara from Temptations. So we'll see you again at 12 p.m. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you. Bye.